Strong friends. So I wanted to make a video today. It's a little bit different. Obviously, if you saw the title of the video, you already know what it's about. I was sort of inspired by this by mostly Misty Copeland's Under Armour ad, and if you haven't seen it, I'll link it here in an annotation. It got me thinking about what we do as fitness people, and a lot of us are fitness competitors, and I wonder how genetics and race plays into judging in NPC shows and things like that. So obviously for black male competitors, they are just killing the game, but for me, I felt like I didn't see too many, like I didn't see a black Dana Lynn Bailey, and when I competed in Bikini, I didn't see too many black women competitors, at least on a regional level. So I brought my friend, fellow YouTuber and fellow DMV area fitness girl, Jelisa, and she is gonna answer some questions, because I don't know if I just don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm Jelisa Scott. Nice to meet you guys, strong friends. So yeah, I compete in NPC as a figure competitor because I love figure, and I've done 4 shows so far. I've placed decent in like all of them. Did 1 national show. My YouTube channel is The Energy on Life, so check it out. And I talk about, you know, health and fitness stuff and macros and fun times. I'm just gonna go off of my experience here, so nobody get offended or whatever. I'm just telling you my perspective from what I see being like in these shows and stuff. At the amateur level, the NPC level, there are like a lot of people who compete. Like you can come off the street, you know, prep for a couple weeks, not a couple weeks, but like a couple months or whatever, and you know, get on stage and compete. So you can be anything. But then once you get to like the national level and the pro level, it obviously gets more difficult. You're competing against people who have really great physiques, have been training for years, all that kind of stuff. To me, it's fun, so I don't really put too much like, I have a different perspective than a lot of other people are. Like I get hardcore, but not like super hardcore where like I'm gonna like kill everybody that have no carbs and like, you know, like I hate my life during like prep. I don't get that serious, but it can get like that. So like Meg was saying, we don't really have a black like Dana Lynn Bailey, but like on the flip side with the men, you know, it's how do I say this? Like we have like Phil Heath, we got Kai Green.
You're dominating.
We are like, yeah, really
Your
dominating.
boys are dominating.
It's like always like 1 and 2 because I guess of the mass. So that's the thing, like genetics. A lot of times like we black people, African Americans, whatever, like we tend to have different body compositions, so we'll build muscle quicker or faster, or we have like denser muscle, what I should say, than like our white counterparts. So it's just different body types. So when it comes to the NPC, there's obviously like rules and guidelines for the different categories. So women, we have bikini, we got figure, then we got physique and bodybuilding, which is kind of being phased out, women's bodybuilding, because it's not so feminine looking.
Is that?
I feel like they're going from, well, all social media right now is really like, I think, making the NPC and actually any type of federation competing basically more relevant and more like popular. So people take their little selfies, their pictures, they look fit, everyone wants to be like them, and then they find out they compete, they're like, oh, I want to compete too. So that's what it is, and I think that ever since like Instagram has been popping, yeah, you see girls with like booties and like flat stomachs and big boobs, and you're like, I don't know what that is. Yeah. So then you find they compete and you're like, all right, let's do it. So I think that is making it more like prevalent, and I think that the Jim Mannion and all them, like they notice it obviously and they're aware, so they kind of go with what the feedback that they're getting from like people on social media and also at the shows and stuff.
I know you mentioned when we were talking just a little bit before, you mentioned that, do you feel like black competitors do need to step it up even a little bit more based on genetics, or are there things that you need to work a little harder on based on your genetics?
Yeah, well, I can attest to that because I tend to, well, my body type is like, I have larger legs, like thicker legs, so when it comes down to like cutting down for a show, getting lean for a show, that is always like the last part to lean out, especially the booty, the legs, all that kind of stuff. So while it tends to be every woman's issue is legs, because we as women, we're child bearers.
Hold our fat there, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we hold our fat there, but you know, a lot of women, black women, women of color, like we tend to hold a little bit more fat there. So like, when it comes to competing, it can get really difficult to like cut down and stuff for a show. So you know you gotta come correct when you step. You're behind on stage because you are judged head to toe, front to back, side to side, and it just, you don't want to have any jiggle. Like, even if you diet it down so hard, you worked so hard, you've done everything that you could possibly do, there's a good chance that if it's like one girl on stage who has like a mediocre kind of upper body and like her legs are like cut and they're lean, and then you've got like a great upper body, like you've got great shoulders, like for figure, we have they do the whole X, so like shoulders shaped to the hips and small waist. Even if you got that down, like your upper body's nice and lean and toned, but your legs are a little less lean and toned and they're like a little bit more, they're a little thicker, it's a good chance that that girl's gonna come ahead of you. A lot of times that's what happens with us, like women of color, because we tend to hold more fat there.
Genetically where you hold your fat.
Yeah, so it's like more difficult, and it's just, that's how it is.
And I know like bikini is interesting because you're judged on everything. This was said to me, I don't know if I believe this, but someone said basically whoever the judge wants to bang is who's gonna win the show. That was told to me. I'm just repeating what someone said to me.
It's a good chance.
And so I wonder, like, that could mean anything. Like, that's just, I feel like bikini, the preference to what certain judges like physically, just like someone looks like.
Yeah.
That could be hair, that could be skin color.
So yeah, you are gonna be judged based off of whatever judges are at your show, their standard of beauty. It's a very subjective sport. Keep it real, like that. It is what it is. You want to have like everything put together, from your hair to your makeup to your tan, nails. They look at everything. With like our body types, women of color, it does tend to be more difficult to cut down that low. That's why you don't see anybody black in the top 5 for bikini. So when it comes to hair, like I wear my hair naturally curly every day, but I wouldn't do that on stage. And 1, because my hair is unpredictable, and 2, because I know that's gonna play a part the way that I place on the stage, because there's a standard of beauty that they like to see, and usually that doesn't always, like, we as black women of color, we don't have the same kind of hair as like, you know, white ladies or even like Latinas. Like they love Latinas now. So we have to keep that in mind. So a lot of black girls you're gonna see are gonna wear weaves, and it plays a part in your presentation. It's gonna do well, but it all depends on what the judges or the head judge or the other judges think that is more beautiful, you know what I'm saying, than like another. So it kind of can come off as like they don't really like, you know, my curly hair and stuff, where, you know, my everyday life, it's cool, but like when it comes to the stage and the lights and I guess mainstream, because NPC is kind of mainstream, you know, they want to see that certain standard of beauty. So you have to also keep that in mind when you're thinking about your presentation and how you want to wear your hair for a show. Personally, gonna keep it real, I would not, if you were competing in a national level show, and especially the pros, you don't see any pros, black pros with twists in their hair, braids in their hair, any like natural kind of ethnic, quote unquote, ethnic hairstyles. You don't see that. Everybody has a weave, or your hair straight and or wavy, those bombshell curls. So also remember that you're in this competition. You put yourself through it. This is what they're looking for, and you can still push the mark, push the envelope a bit, and try different hairstyles. But you'll notice you'll probably place differently. So if you want to, like, if I was gonna wear my hair in braids, my body would have to be on point. Like, yes, even some women who have bald hair, like they'll do well in NPC. I mean in amateur, but when it comes to like higher levels, it's not gonna happen. Not right now anyway. Keep pushing the envelope, y'all, but not right now. As more and more women compete and the sport gets bigger, yeah, we are women of color, we are kind of creeping up into the top ranks.
I feel like beauty standards are always come in waves. Like, you and I are lucky now because the Kardashians are just killing the game, and big butts are just so in right now. Thank you, Jesus. And that's been happening since, like, I know J-Lo started it, and the Kardashians are keeping it going. And Beyonce, thank you. Luckily, I'm white and I kind of have something going on. But, you know, beauty standards are always changing. So I wonder if we'll see something like that kind of leak into the NPC.
Also, what you just said with like everyone has different challenges, it's so true. So while women of color, we have different challenges, y'all have different challenges, different body types have different challenges. So while I have no really big problem building muscle and getting toned, some people do. So that's their thing. But what I also want to say is that when you're competing, keep in mind that it's a very subjective sport, like I said. So build your body the way that you want to look. So build the body that you want, not for the judges. Be aware of what they want. If you're doing figure, be aware of your shoulders and stuff like that. But be happy with your body. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just like compete just for a certain look that's going to fit into that category, because the categories are always changing, they're always shifting. So build the body that you want, that you're comfortable with, that you can look in the mirror every day and be proud of and be happy with, and then whatever you place in the shows will just be like whatever, like it'll just be like great if I won, great if I didn't, I'm gonna go eat, life goes on, and let's move on. And that's just what I want people to know.
And eating is the best part. I think it's interesting to learn about that there are women of color competing and representing and doing well. You know, it might be the minority still, but I think it's interesting to have you come on and talk, and hopefully some of my viewers can see and meet you and follow your channel. I want my channel to see that you are representing, and I like what you're doing with your channel. So thank you for, you know, having a voice and putting some awesome content out there. If you guys don't know Jelisa, now you do, so you have to follow her. And if you don't know, now you know. So thank you so much for being on my channel and answering some of my questions and clearing up some of my assumptions. I'm happy to hear that you are representing, and I hope that we can see if there's ever any women of color or even my white women who are scared to do a competition. Just know that it's hard for everybody, no matter what obstacles you reach. And I hope that
everyone has different challenges.
Everyone does, and so I hope that you just like keep staying strong and being my strong friends.
Yes.
Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna link Jelisa's channel in the description below, and you know, follow her, give her a sub, and continue building our family of strong friends. So I'm glad that you came on my channel, and thank you so much. Bye. See you guys later.
See y'all. Hope you enjoyed.